On this next episode of Outlook TV, the Trans March at Toronto Pride.
Victoria Pride celebrates 25 years.
Toronto's Green Space Festival 10th anniversary for the 519. And much, much more.
Hello and welcome to Outlook TV. I'm Rebecca Wyman.
And I'm Robert Mackay, and you're watching the Queer Magazine news show that brings you the stories that matter the most from coast to coast.
We're going to kick it off in Toronto at the Trans March.
Everyone was stepping in a prideful strut. Let's see what that story's all about.
How is your first Pride going?
This is awesome. I've never seen anything like this.
Okay, so when you say awesome, what do you mean by awesome?
The camaraderie, the diversity, the people of color that have turned out, It's amazing.
For me, I think it is trans folks, especially Black and Indigenous and trans feminine folks of color, that actually allowing us to have this whole fun-filled weekend. So I think as an ally, it's really important for me to be here, to say thank you, to show my support. I also work with trans youth and trans feminine youth of color, and I have to be here and support and show love. So that's why I'm here.
Well, I remember the first Trans Pride in 2009. We started up at Church in Bloor. We just walked down the street. There were some barriers there. It was a Facebook event. We didn't know how it would go, and it turned out to be a success. We went, yeah, she's telling the story right up there. And it was such a feeling that we finally did it, that I love coming back every year. And I think that's important for everyone else who hasn't had this experience.
So what do you think is needed in the trans community?
Well, you know, we need to change the sex work laws. We need people to be housed and to have employment opportunities. People need to be able to have a decent place to live and food and a place to eat and sleep and a place where they can be loved and included in the, not just like have it like precariously. So we still have a long ways to go around making sure everybody is lifted up, and we can do that by working together.
Discrimination-free and more accessible housing for lower-income and street-active trans people, especially youth. We need more accessible services that open up and accept trans people.
Especially for trans women of color who bear the brunt of transphobia, we need to start letting them put it at the front, just like Yasmin said.
An injury to one is an injury to all. So that's why we got to stand strong against oppression, against discrimination, and against a rollback of trans rights.
My name's Monica, and I'm here at the Trans March in Toronto.
Let's head over to Victoria and see how the Empress does Pride.
But we're not talking about the lady, instead the landmark building in Victoria to see how the Fairmont handles Pride.
The fabulous Fairmont Empress Hotel in Victoria has a Pride program they're running this year, and we're going to speak with the manager, Doug Chant, to find out what it's all about.
So our Pride Committee, we have three major chairs, myself and our Director of Sales, as well as the sales manager here at the hotel. And the Pride Committee comprises of about a dozen people or so. As well, the whole hotel likes to get involved when we do larger events, especially for the Pride Parade and Pride Week at the hotel. What we really try to do is really extend the core values that includes diversity and inclusivity throughout not just different events, but also in the day-to-day operations of the hotel. So the Ambitions program for diversity has three major pillars. We want to make sure we're gender inclusive and that we are being very diverse and proud in the gender, as well as with socioeconomic the race and international, and the third pillar is with age relations as well. So in order to really elevate our float this year, it's our second year being in the Victoria Pride Parade, we really wanted to take it to the next level and get everyone involved. So we decided to do Love is Love candygrams. And so essentially we sold candygrams to the internal staff of the hotel, and everyone really got behind it. I think of the 600 staff, we did about 400 candygrams. So really great, everyone really got involved, and yesterday the committee and myself, we went around and handed out the grams to everyone that had ordered them, and it was really great. It made everyone feel a big sugar high for the day, and everyone was really excited and got on board for the parade that's coming up tomorrow. So we have a beautiful float. It's being set up in the back right now. A lot of balloons, a lot of streamers and fun. We have a local drag queen, Henrietta Dubé, will be joining us on the float and really accentuating our love of all things royal and the Queen.
We're going to have to take a little break now.
We're going to step outside and absorb a little non-artificial light as well as summer. We need
it. Every trip.
While in Victoria, the OutlookTV crew was provided services from the following companies: Gayvan.com Travel Marketing, the Fairmont Empress Hotel, Tourism Victoria,
HeliJet flies between Victoria and Vancouver day and night, rain or shine. Now offering free parking and shuttle service for passengers at all terminals. For flight schedules and bookings, call 1-800-665-4354 or visit helijet.com.
Welcome back. You're watching Outlook TV.
Do you feel that chill, Rebecca?
I do.
I think it's camera Obscura is coming up next.
It's the ghost. It's going to get us.
Hold me.
The highlight of this year's Queer Arts Festival is the world premiere of Camera Obscura, Hungry Ghosts, and we're at a rehearsal.
What? You look like you're gonna take a shit. How do we know what?
Camera Obscura is a play, and it's a multimedia play. All plays are multimedia, but we use video because it's intrinsic to the story that we're telling. We are telling the story inspired by the life and the work of Paul Wong, who is a Governor General Award-winning video artist based in Vancouver. And I was inspired by aspects of his early life and wanted to find out about the relationship that he had with his partner, Kenneth Fletcher, who was his art partner. And just looking at the work he had done, I suspected also his partner in love as well. I wanted to also look at what was happening for the young man who had been murdered, who was the subject of photos that they had taken. Paul woke up one morning and he saw somebody lying in the back lane. He took photos, and he and Kenneth made a piece out of that, and that was called Murder Research. The man was Indigenous, and I wanted to give him opportunity to speak.
Feel better?
This is the first time I've ever been a part of an artistic project where I had a role model, a mentor, a reference point that was queer and Asian. Hearing Paul speak about taking 40 years to finally recognize himself in the mirror, to value himself in ways that representation doesn't allow, even to this present day, has been world-changing to me. I don't have role models like that. So to discover it now in this play while I'm interpreting him, it's incredible.
Like if you smashed through it, there'd still be you. The mirror is just a curtain.
A lot of the time it's easy in other shows, it's easy to stay at a surface level, I suppose, and everything on the outside might look like it's the same. But this show I've had to be more careful just because of the content with how much I'm letting myself spiral down, because the actor's job is you have to be able to always come out of it at the end of the day. So that I found very interesting about this process.
You just listen to me for 1 sec. Ignore the man behind the sequin curtain.
I had to really just dig deep to my own personal experiences and what I heard back home in Winnipeg, and really use that for this character, Stuart, because it's a very uncomfortable situation that I'm in. But I'm very happy that this character is telling his story, and I'm able to tell my own story through the character.
This is Gary Wolfeder for Outlook TV.
You know what I could use a little bit more of?
What?
Patience.
And there's only one man who can give us that. Matthew Presidente drops a new single called
Patience.
We are here at XY Nightclub to talk with Matthew Presidente about his new single, Be Patient, and about his upcoming summer shows.
Last year, I released a new record called Every Single Sin, and Be Patient was actually the first song that we wrote for this album. It's kind of a neat song. Most of the album is very heavy rock. It's a little gritty, and Be Patient is the one that's a little more mellow, a little more sentimental. It's about, being a little older in your 30s, being a gay guy, and the quest for love.
So how did your collaboration begin with Jordan Nesso?
Jordan and I have been friends for a very long time. He used to play drums with me, and then he moved to Montreal, and he's a very, very talented musician, songwriter, and producer. He actually wanted to strip it all down, re-record everything pretty much except for the vocals. So it's actually the same track as on the album, but we've taken parts away, added different parts, given it a different groove. We've shortened it a bit because it was quite a long number.
So you're busy bee this summer. Can you tell us about the shows you're about to do?
Last year we put together this new band. They're wonderful. We have my old friend Brad Pedwell playing guitars and singing, Ian Malinsky playing the bass, and Mikey Chamzuk on the drums, who's a fabulous drummer. Tonight will be our 6th show here.
So how do you come up with a set list for your show and for the concept of your show?
We talk about set list all the time with the guys, so we really try to make each show a little bit different while still having a familiar format, so that the people coming to the show can come every time and not see the same show. So we want to mix it up. We want to do a good mix of newer songs, older songs, put in some covers. I try to think a lot about the journey of the set list. You want it to have some peaks and valleys. It's not going to just be kind of one note the whole time. We like to do a little acoustic segment in the middle. We like to have some ballads. We like to have some silly songs. We always have a rap in there somewhere, and there's always some surprise guests.
Well, that was quite the show. Check out MatthewPresidente.com to find out how you can get his new single, Be Patient, and about where to find him this summer. I'm Ollie for Outlook TV at XY Nightclub.
Let's head back to Toronto for more Pride coverage.
And it's performance coverage this time of Green Space for the 519 Centre in Toronto for Pride. Let's check it out.
Hey, I'm at Pride Toronto, and tonight is the Green Space Festival. Tonight you can expect a lot of great performances, food and drink, and they have a special guest tonight, Sasha Velour, who is the 9th winner of the RuPaul's Drag Race on, as I said, season 9. So let's check her out later on, but for now, let's see what's going on.
The Green Space Festival grew out of a long tradition here in the village of beer gardens, sort of post-Pride, and we started in 2008 on a special event called Starry Night, which grew into the 5-day festival we call Green Space Festival, and it's a fundraiser for the 519. The 519 is Canada's largest LGBTQ community center, and the Green Space Festival helps us raise money that we use year-round for our programs and services for our community, and that's ranging from seniors to youth and children, and trans community members, as well as our refugees and newcomers.
And what motivated you to dress so fabulous tonight?
Well, we went to the white party at the boutique bar, and we always try, whenever there's a theme, we just pull it out, you know?
Any excuse to get out of the little costume works for us.
Yeah, it's fun.
So, how many prides do you think you've attended over the years?
How many prides? So we're going to give our age away.
No, we can give you that too much.
That's since the very beginning. Yeah.
In Toronto?
Toronto, yeah, and in Montreal too.
Every trick of his.
Tonight's events are what's called Disco Disco, so we have a range of globally known DJs and a special performance by Sasha Velour from RuPaul's Drag Race, so we're pretty excited about that. Grown immensely, as I say, really from one event to now 5 really keystone and milestone events for really the city. I think we've become a real global destination for people during Pride here in Toronto. We've attracted over 250,000 guests in that time, so we know they've come from all over the world to the festival to enjoy top flight talent from around the world.
We're going to have to take another little break now.
We need to hydrate because we've sweat half our body weight out.
While in Victoria, the OutlookTV crew was provided services from the following companies: Gayvan.com Travel Marketing, the Fairmont Empress Hotel, Tourism Victoria,
HeliJet flies between Victoria and Vancouver day and night, rain or shine. Now offering free parking and shuttle service for passengers at all terminals. For flight schedules and bookings, call 1-800-665-4354 or visit helijet.com.
Welcome back. You're watching Outlook TV.
In this next segment, we're covering Chautauqua.
Pearle Harbour brings a revival tent to Vancouver.
An erected tent.
Hi, I am at the coach and I am standing next to Pearle Harbour. Hello, Pearle.
Hello, I am so excited to be bringing Pearle Harbour's Chautauqua, an immersive tent revival, here to Vancouver. Can I get a little something from you? Can I hear a you betcha?
You betcha.
You betcha.
Say it again.
You betcha. Pearle Harbour Chautauqua is an immersive extravaganza. We hang a 20 by 25 foot canvas revival tent, and I, in drag, of course, not as boring as this, but in my drag persona, Pearle Harbour, take you through an old-time tent revival for our crazy post-truth world. And it's this incredible experience of communion and community. It's this big gonzo thing that everybody gets in and a part on. And we've been touring it across Canada for the first time this year. Won a few awards last year and are going back to Toronto to open up Theatre Passe Muraille's season in October with the show.
Harmony now, do you realize what a radical act that has become?
Pearle Harbour, she's a wartime wonder. She's an old-fashioned analog gal. And she's looking around and seeing this world that we're living in. It seems like everything's falling apart. And she has the solution to bring people back together and to bring audiences back and connected with one another, connected to their people power. And that's Chautauqua. So she is inviting you to come spend this time with her in her revival tent and be sheltered from the inharmony of the world, from our troubled times, to catch your breath and connect with your fellow man, woman, and other again.
Because the world outside this tent has become a place of inharmony.
Are you a makeup artist too?
I'm not a makeup artist. I'm a clown that discovered beauty makeup. So I know how to do one face very well, but I couldn't put you into anything else. If you wanted to look like Pearle Harbour, I could absolutely get you sorted, but that's essentially the limit of my skill.
We are better together. Don't you believe that too?
I'm a resident artist at Buddies and Bad Times Theatre, which is actually the world's longest running queer theatre. I'm going to be presenting Chautauqua at Theatre Passe Muraille.
Here is ready for music. Here is ready for a show. Here is ready for some connection. Then prove it.
This is Karen Croft for OutlookTV.
And this is Pearle Harbour with Pearle Harbour Chautauqua. We're coming to Toronto next at Theatre Passe Muraille for October. See you there, you betcha.
Let's head over to Victoria to check out their Pride.
The 25th Pride.
Ooh, congratulations, Victoria.
We're in British Columbia's beautiful capital city of Victoria for Victoria Pride 2018. Come join us for all the festivities.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We are ready. I've spent the whole day at the field. The field is almost ready, and we will be ready by tomorrow. The parade is almost ready. Well, so tomorrow is the 25th anniversary of the parade and the 24th anniversary of the festival. And our first parade had maybe 200 people and went just to the Parliament buildings, and was very empowering. It was very exciting, but a little bit anticlimactic because nobody knew what to do at the end. And so then the folks back then developed the festival for the next year, and then we ended up at Fisherman's Wharf, which we outgrew several years later, and we are now at McDonald Park, which is a quad softball field and holds about 10,000 people. So there's two stages. There's the main stage, and then there's the beer garden stage. We have put drag on the main stage, family-friendly drag. So because there's lots of kids there, and the beer garden stage. Well, that's the beer garden stage.
But in my neck of the woods, well, I'm just a fag next door. The redneck fag ain't no high-class car. I just pull up my waist and I say, hey, you all.
And you also have a vendor section as well, right?
So there are 120 craft and info booths and community services vendors, and there's 20 food trucks, and food trucks, and then a little bit more.
That's all the time we have for this episode of Outlook TV, but we'll be back so soon.
So soon. And you know what's even sooner than that? The internet, because it never turns off. And you can check us out on all those social media channels. Shoot us an email to volunteer with us. And we need people from all across Canada, so join us.
Please join us.
Join us.
Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Rebecca Wyman.
And I'm Robert Mackay.
Stay fabulous, Canada.